Director Sanchez, the assumed rate of return for the state employee retirement system, I believe, is 7.25% per year.
Correct.
So what was the actual rate of return realized by CSRS last year?
Last year was a minus of unaudited figures of minus 4.6, 4.3, 4.6.
Okay, so the assumed rate was 7.25% growth, and in reality, we lost 4.3%. So by missing the assumed rate of return by 11.5%, how much did that add to the unfunded liability for CSRS?
That was a loss of about $3.36 billion because we expected to gain, as you said, 7.25, but we lost 4 point. When you add those together, it's about $3.3 billion. That averages, we would smooth that in at about $660 million a year over the 5 years. So it's added $3.3 billion.
3.3 billion with a B.
Yes, with a B.
So my understanding is that with last year's losses factored in, CSRS is about 56% funded right now. Is that about accurate?
That is.
All right. So earlier in your remarks, you stated that $3.4 billion was paid to CSRS annuitants last year. And we've established there was a negative investment return. So how much money did CSRS receive from employee and employer contributions last year?
We received from the members about $394 million in member contributions, and we received $2.2 billion in employer contributions last year.
So CSRS received about $2.6 billion last year and paid out about $3.4 billion, right?
Correct.
So that means CSRS paid out $800 million more than it took in on top of a $3 billion investment lost. All right, so I mean, I realize investing is a long-term proposition. When you invest, there's up years, there's down years, and you know, candidly, at least in my view, the state employee retirement system is only 56.5% funded today, largely because of tremendously short-sighted decisions made by the General Assembly during the Ridge and Rendell years. That's where the blame lies, right? It's certainly not, I think it's important to mention it's not with the employees' fault, right? They didn't cause the problem. They've paid every dime they were ever asked to put into the system. But I think at a very minimum, it's greatly troubling to me that we paid out more than almost $1 billion more in benefits last year than we brought in on top of a significant loss. So I want to be clear, I'm not suggesting that the pension fund is insolvent. I'm not suggesting that it's going broke tomorrow. But the Pennsylvania taxpayer is ultimately on the hook for any shortfall in the pension fund. Am I correct?
Correct. On the defined benefit side, yes.
I just guess I'd encourage all of us in the room to feel the weight of that.